and welcome to another fitness video with me, Andrea. I have a little bit of a workout planned for today with some squats and some arms, but the main reason for my video today is to answer some of your questions. So you can join along in the workout, or you can just watch and hear what I have to say about some things. Okay, so I'm going to start with some squats. And the first question is, how active are you? Now, I wouldn't say I'm very active, to be honest. I used to be, because my job entailed dog walking. So I'd walk with the dogs about 4 hours a day, sometimes longer, from Monday to Friday. And that was a lot of activity, and I was very active, and I was quite skinny when I did that. Even though I still was eating a lot of calories, it was hard to keep them from burning away. So now I'm no longer dog walking, and I'd say I work out intermittently. Like, I'll do one personal training session with my trainer, but then a lot of the stuff that I do is kind of these short little things throughout the day. So I'll get up in the middle of a show and I'll just start doing squats, you know, to burn some energy off, but I might not do like a whole workout. And, you know, I go for walks during the day, but I don't run, I don't do much cardio. And that's something that I'm looking to add to my workouts. But if I was going to scale it from 1 to 10 on how active I am, I'd say I'm about a 6 or a 7 in there, you know? Have you always been fit? No, definitely not. You know, I tried when I was a kid to fit in with that whole kind of athletic group, but I was a really weird child. I'm a weird adult, but being a weird adult seems to be acceptable, whereas being a weird kid wasn't so acceptable. When I was younger, I was told, don't be different. Being different isn't going to help you fit in. Whereas when I was older, people were like, be you, you know, be unique, be different. And I was bullied a lot, and I was overweight. I had these huge glasses and braces, and I was never like big, but I was never very athletic. And it was through canoe trips at my camp, Wapameo, that I started to realize how good I felt when I was fit. But back then I was doing it specifically for vanity. I just wanted to look hot. That's all I cared about. Whereas now that I'm doing it for health-related reasons, it's much more healthy. And I'm not doing it this obsessive way, like I want to be skinny, I want to be fit. It's I want to be healthy, I want to feel strong. So there's a key difference there. How do you fit in fitness with a busy life? Well, this goes back, to me talking about how active I am. And like I said, I don't really focus on doing these crazy long workouts. A lot of my stuff is just these short little things. So that's what I recommend to people who are looking to get more fit and fitness in. Don't focus on these long, intense workouts. Introduce fitness into these short little bits. So while you're in the shower, for instance, you know, do some calf raises. Or while you're brushing your teeth, do some squats. Or while you're watching TV, you know, stand in front of the TV and do some of this, and, you know, like, slowly incorporate it in. You know, right now, I don't have kids, and I'm currently unemployed. So it's really quite easy for me. I'm not going to act like I'm, you know, struggling to fit in fitness. I'm not. But I do think that even if I did have a ton of things, I could still maintain what I'm doing now. It's not some crazy amount. Whereas I do see certain people, you know, trying to turn fitness into something more in their life. And I understand that, but really I think it shouldn't take over. It should kind of just fit in. And if it takes over, you're more likely to struggle keeping it consistent, because anything to that crazy level really can't be maintained for that long. So if you go to the gym an hour every single day, you know, 5 days a week, good for you, but do you really think you're going to be able to do that, you know, through a pregnancy, or once you have newborns, or once you have 2 kids, or, you know, not likely. So maybe you can, but I'm a big fan of working out at home and working out when you have the time, not necessarily making time, which a lot of people say, no excuses, make the time. It's like, you know what, maybe they're not that busy if they're saying that. So just do it when you have time. Little chunks, everything counts. Okay, when did I get interested in eating well, and have you always been vegan? So no, I haven't always been vegan. I am a new vegan. I've only been vegan for a year now. And honestly, it's the best decision I've ever made. And prior to it, I had no interest in eating healthy. I didn't go vegan to be healthy. It just happened. I went vegan because I care about animals and I care about the environment. And in the process of doing it, I started feeling so good and having all this energy, and my anxiety went away, and my eyesight got better, and my hair grew in better, and my moods got better, and my sleep got better, and everything got better. And I had all this energy. So all of a sudden, I started caring about eating well because I really felt that difference. And even now with being vegan, you know, I'll have bad days, and after them, I never feel as good as I do after a good day. So it helps you kind of stay on track. Is it hard to transition to veganism? Oh, this is a big one. Because vegans love to say that it's easy, right? Oh yeah, changing your whole lifestyle, that must be easy. No, it's not easy. It's hard, and it gets easier, but to say that it's easy is just crazy. I went vegan overnight, the same way that I went vegetarian. I just cut it out one night, didn't do the slow transition. But a lot of people would say the slow transition is probably the better one. And I think the people who struggle with transitioning are the ones that turn it into a healthy lifestyle rather than a compassionate lifestyle. So people who go vegan specifically for health reasons usually struggle more with the transition, rather than if you do it for animal rights reasons or environmental reasons, because these strong facts come in and show you this is bad for the animals, this is bad for the environment, and you care more about those usually than you do about yourself. So watch Earthlings, watch Food Inc. These are the things that will help the transition be easier. What is a plant-based breakfast that would be good to have if your workout isn't going to be until later in the day? Well, whether your workout's going to be later or earlier, I still think the best breakfast is a fruit breakfast. So I either have a fruit smoothie with a couple of kale handfuls or just a little bit of green, maybe a spirulina powder added. Or I have a huge fruit platter. This is some of my leftovers from earlier. Those really are going to fill you up with the fructose and the carbohydrates, and they'll power you through the day. They'll give you a ton of energy. Wash it down if you like with a green juice with some spinach and kale and celery and cucumber and green apple and ginger. Oh, you'll be bouncing off the walls. Like, my diet is the total opposite of what I used to eat, where when I'd eat, I'd feel sedentary afterwards. Whereas now when I eat, I've got all this energy and I just want to move and exercise. So it definitely doesn't change whether there's a workout coming right after or later. You know, if I wanted to have something a little bit more of a treat, I'd do like a tofu scramble with like red pepper and onions and garlic and tomatoes, and I'd put that in like a tortilla or a lettuce wrap or something. But I tend to keep my meals raw vegan, until around the evening. So smoothie or fruit platter, and then salad or another smoothie, or you know, lettuce wraps or rice, you know, wraps with something with raw vegetables and raw legumes. Or then in the dinner time, I'll have a huge carbohydrate cooked carb meal with rice or quinoa or potatoes and sweet potatoes and squash. And so I tend to keep raw, but sometimes I don't. I'm not fully raw till 4, but I am most of the time. Why is dairy unsafe? You know, oh, my phone. Dairy, well, you know, this is going to be controversial, but there's lots of reasons why I don't eat dairy. The last of which was health reasons. I stopped eating dairy because the dairy industry is involved in the suffering of animals. And I love animals. I don't want animals to suffer. But there are studies that have shown that humans aren't meant to digest other animals' breast milk. And that's the main thing you have to think about when you're having milk. That milk is meant for a baby calf, a baby cow, to consume. And when they consume it, they consume this huge amount, of course, but in the first half a year, they quadruple in size. They go from baby to full-grown cow. So you have to think, wow, if that's what it does to a baby calf, it quadruples in size, what is it doing to my system? You know, we don't need cow's milk the same way we don't need giraffe's milk, or cat's milk, or mouse milk, or any mammal's milk. We don't need it. We've just decided that cow's milk will be the one. And all the most recent science, and it's actually even the before recent, like past science, but it's kind of been hidden, shows that dairy products actually lead to osteoporosis. So we're consuming them thinking, oh, I'm going to make my bones stronger, when really we're making our bones weaker, and they cause the calcium to leach from your bones. Whereas plant-based calcium is primary calcium. So you go, well, where do you get your protein? Where do you get your calcium? Well, where do you think milk gets its protein and its calcium? It gets it from the cow who is eating plant-based products. So you can, rather than eat the secondary nutrient, you eat the primary nutrient. You eat what the cow's eating. You know, grass. Eat grass. No. But it's basic science. And there's a whole bunch of gross things in milk anyway. There's hormones and antibiotics and pus. Because, like, think about it. It's coming out of, like, a teat. And this teat has been sucked for years, and it's all filled with the cells and the skin cells. Like, it's beyond gross, in my opinion. Why is daily exercise important? Ooh, well, this I could go on forever about. You know, first I'll talk about the lymph system, which I've mentioned in past videos. So there are tons of systems in your body. There's respiratory and your blood system and all these systems. And one of the systems is called your lymphatic system. And it's in your body fighting disease. But it needs some help. And one of the ways that it needs help is it needs to move. It is a stagnant system. It does not move on its own. So you need to move, move. And your lymph system moves because it's connected to the gravity of the earth. And when you're moving up and down, it's moving inside you. So a lot of people who have fought serious diseases will tell you that one of the best exercises you can do is rebounding, which is essentially jumping on a trampoline. And when you jump on a trampoline or when you rebound, you're getting that lymphatic system moving like crazy. So that's great, and it's cardio, right? But why is weight training so important? Well, you'll notice with old age, you see a lot of this and a lot of shrinking. Now, that comes with the whole calcium and bone thing, but it also comes into play with muscles. So strong core muscles are going to help you later on in life. You're not going to get the same kind of injuries, hip surgeries, knee surgeries, all these things that you might have issues with if you're not keeping a strong core and strong muscles. So, you know, I had some really bad falls early on in my dog walking career, and it took me so long to recover from them. And that has partly to do with my nutrition back then, but it also has to do with the fact that of my muscles. And so when I fall, my muscles work more to keep everything in the place that they need to be in, rather than them wishing and washing around in your body. How do you stay motivated? Well, that's a hard one, because I am, like I said, just a regular person. I'm not immune to lazy times, as it were. And sometimes it's really tough to stay motivated, and I really struggle with it. And I think the best advice I can give you to stay motivated is to not make your workouts unenjoyable. Make them fun. Be weird, make silly noises, flail around, do it with friends. Having a fit friend always helps, and if you've never met them, that's fine. Some of my fit friends I've made through Instagram, and they motivate me, and that really helps. And then the other thing I recommend is take pictures of yourself. You know, the fitness selfie has a lot of misconception. People see a fitness selfie and they think, oh, there's someone who's full of themselves. Well, I would much rather see that than a picture of the number on their scale, because you're going to notice those differences with definition and toning way more, and that's what's important. How your clothes fit, how you feel is so much more important than looking at that number on the scale, which a lot of people focus on, and that's too bad. I've gained weight since I started working out this much. Well, of course I have. I've built a ton of muscle that I never had. So you can't really focus on that number and think that it's the full representation of your fitness. What time of day do you work out? Well, I kind of answered this already. I don't work out at a set time. I don't work out usually for a set amount of time or anything. I just, you know, I wake up, I live my life, and I fit fitness into it. So as much as I think working out early in the morning is a better choice, you know, some people don't have that option. So just work out whenever you can. Don't put pressure on yourself, and don't wake up at 5 a.m. to do it, because you're not going to enjoy it. You know, do it in between clients at your office or meetings. You know, just get up. You're sitting at your desk, get up, just lunge. You know, let's just break out a lunge right now. You can do this in an office, in your cubicle. You could go into the bathroom and do it if you have to, if you're embarrassed. Or go into the stairway of your office building. Do a couple flights of stairs. When you get home from work, have a sign on the front of your door saying, do 10 minutes of exercise when you get in the door. It doesn't have to be some crazy thing. Everything counts. And I think that's the main issue people have in staying motivated, is they make exercise to be too much of a thing and they lose the fun aspect of it. You know, and that's why you see me in these videos, like I'm breaking out my twerks and I'm flailing my arms around and whatever, because I want to do this and I like it. It's fun. And that's the best advice I can give you, is enjoy this time and make it something that you like. Get a laugh out of it. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what time you're doing it or how long you're doing it, it just becomes part of you loving and living your life. And then the last question was, what are some tips to break sleeping in? This one is a great question, because I think a lot of people, oops, I just legitimately spat. A lot of people struggle waking up in the mornings. Now, the first thing I could say to that is they're probably not eating the best nutrition. But this question was asked by someone who has amazing nutrition. So my best advice is that they're probably not getting to bed early enough. So what I like to do is I go to bed very early, and I start about 30 minutes before I go to bed. And I go into my room and I turn out the lights and I put some candles on and I put calming music on, and I do deep breathing and meditation. And sometimes I just lie on my floor and I do that, or sometimes I do some yoga. Like, there's so many different things you can do. And then it's also very important to kind of diminish your screen time before bedtime. So if you're looking at a screen, like if you're watching TV or if you're on your phone, cut that out a little bit earlier. Don't bring it to bed with you where it will keep you up more. And then another one would be to incorporate a routine in your morning. So if you wake up and you've got something to do, you know, it doesn't have to be fitness. So set an alarm for 7 and then wake up and make some fresh almond milk. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're up. My other thing is, don't press snooze. Just don't do it. And you'll all of a sudden be like, well, I have to get up because an alarm isn't going to go off after this. And you can disable your snooze button also, which is a great idea. But I've definitely noticed that since I've gone vegan, I don't have issues waking up early. Like, I will occasionally sleep in, but it is very rare. And so I can't really relate to that issue, but hopefully maybe this getting to bed earlier thing, that could help you out. So those were the questions, and I hope I answered them well enough for you guys today and maybe motivated you to do a workout. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and have a great day.